Right guys, this is the first part or the blue edition of the SVB interviews. This version contains Raju, Prodigal Son or Ryan Hart, and Chunkis. So let's get this thing going. And here is the boom intro.
Hey guys, it's Jinty. I'm a rap for y'all.
Nah man, I'll allow Jinty this time. He's actually quite safe. I'm gonna just do a random rap about SVB. I had a couple of days down at SVB. Met new heads from the GGP. A few OGs and some OTTs. Even couple girls with some STDs. Nah, it was good seeing old school heads. Kaz, Raju, Hatton, Chef, Vince, Ryan, RMZ, Ghetto, Chunkis, man's can dead. I got a hotel where my heads could crash. Rinse out sesh with the circle mash. 360s and a jumping splash. Cyrox change but I'll win your cash. Played a couple games, got my tactics seen. Yeah, that's cool, that's just me. Your life bar's gone and my life bar's green. We need some new heads in this dried up scene. I have to get a last big up for Jinty, even though you did actually get Baba. Fuck that guy. Nah, he's actually quite safe. Cool.
Salt the Swedes. Salt the change.
Cyrox is 2 jokes. Interview 1. Daigo Umehara. Raju. Warning. Following podcast may not actually contain much useful information and may cause your skills to go brass. Also, listening to Raju's podcast may get your urine blown up and will cause ear cancer and rapid death. Alright guys, we're here on day 3 of SVB, joined by Mr. PrivateRyan, who's going to be asking a couple questions to my guest Raju.
Hey! Why is Raju on the podcast for? He's dry, you get me?
No, wait, let's go straight into the first question.
Yeah, blatant.
What happened in the tournament?
Okay, basically, I got blown up by this.
Now look, man's might actually not know. Describe the whole process.
Oh, you want from start to end? Okay, right. In groups, first of all, yeah, they try almost make me play the group the next day, and I booked the work off for that day to play, and they try make me almost play it the next day. So Chunkis, he switched his group round so I could play mine instead. Even then, it happened almost at closing time, so I was trying to rush my matches, and that's why I lost to Chef, because I never lose to him. You get me, Rayhan?
No, it's because you never rush your matches.
Actually, no, wait there. I didn't lose to Chef. I lost to Zabuza, innit? Yeah, respect to Zabuza.
To be fair though, Zabuza and Chef do look quite similar, so...
Do they? Oh, yeah, I can see.
Zabuza's a white head from Manchester.
Chef's a middle-aged Indian man.
Yeah, blatant.
They do look quite
so
similar.
basically what happened was there was a 3-way tie between us 3, and I couldn't make it yesterday due to some other reasons, and because of that we agreed to come in Sunday morning and finish off the 3-way tie. And just to let you know that Neo Empire, they're kind of a bit inconsistent when it comes to tournament rules, because Rudy, yeah, his group, they got to play best of 3 in their 3-way tie match. I had to play 1 match in my 3-way tie match. You get me?
Did you win?
But luckily, yeah, I won. You get me?
I
was against Chef, you get me? I know that guy. I know how to play against that guy.
Are you carrying a shank there? Because you're sounding a bit ghetto.
From South London, yeah, you have to carry a shank with you all the time. Otherwise, you get shanked.
If you were actually as aggressive in your matches as you are on podcasts, you'd actually be quite good and you wouldn't get blown up by Frenchman comedy players.
Yeah, blatant, true. Now, what happened next was I came up against this Remy player from Sweden, right? And he basically used Remy. Because I just called him a Remy player, so if you didn't, I don't know why I didn't need to. There might be some dumbasses listening to this podcast later. So what happened was he was proper annoying, so I was sort of programming him a little bit, yeah. First of all, by playing him in very casual matches, yeah. And I used Chun-Li and I blew him up, and I was like, Rare, maybe I should use Chun-Li in the tournament. And like, Gente, yeah, he was telling me to use Chun-Li. But in the end, I ended up just using Urien, and I thought, what I'm going to do is walk towards him, yeah? And you know Urien, he wears them underpants, yeah? And his bare tongue. If he walks towards you, you're going to think he's some kind of a paedophile, right? So I thought, this guy's going to get shook. I started walking towards him, because I knew if I tried to jump in, he's going to do like standing medium, innit? That little stupid looking poke, and it beats everything almost of Urien's. I think everything. I didn't really try everything, to be honest, because I'm just so used to hitting roundhouse when I'm in the air. I'm just brass like that. So I kept trying that. I kept getting beaten. And then I thought, let me walk towards him. I parried every single one of his love discs, yeah, or whatever you want to call them. Parried every single one of them, and then got in close, and then I just raped him because, he is a paedophile at the end of the day, and he had to do that.
Right. Okay, so you got out of groups nicely. Yeah, you beat your top 16 guy.
And then that's when I saw I was up against Tome. And on Friday, while we were playing casuals, I couldn't beat that guy a single time. And I was just thinking to myself, this guy, he's just going to rush me down. He's got my matchup clocked. And he told me, actually, he plays against this really good Urien player called Goldorak from France. And Goldorak actually don't play nothing like me, but he said he knows the matchup really, really well. And he proved it, because in the top 8, he absolutely obliterated me. Like, he just made me look like some dickhead. Yeah. And what happened was, I got 1 round off him. And after I got that round off him, I thought, okay, obviously, you know, things are, maybe they're going to slowly turn my way. But I found that I got a mental block every time he tried to rush me down. And he owned me on every single rush down. Any one of the options I tried didn't work. As usual, as anyone does, I came off the machine thinking I should have done a few more standing fierces. Few more than yeah! You know what I mean? Yeah? But instead I kept doing them stupid low forwards, man. And you know, when the leg comes back, yeah, he kept dashing in and doing his mix-ups. And because of that, you know, I was shook. I had a window between his poke and then his slap to the ground, and I could have done stuff there, and I still sold it. So that's what basically happened, and I don't want to talk about it anymore because I'm going to start getting upset. You get me? So allow it. Ask me the next question, you fool.
Right, okay. They're militant today, boy. Hey, did you actually?
I love you all. I'm just from South London. You get me?
Hey, did you actually practice before this tournament, or do you just come in like?
No, most of the time I come in cold, and it gets quite hot in the venue, so then I get quite hot. But yeah, in terms of actually practicing, I played GGPO a little bit, and I'm proper one of them sly ones where only a few people know who I am on it. And I actually, you know, sometimes I just make shit up that I'm playing on pad when blatant I'm actually not playing on pad. I'm playing on stick all that time. All you fools that believe me, yeah? When I was saying that I was playing on pad, I'm not playing on pad, boy. I'm playing on stick, and you're blowing me up, innit? But I got a sick excuse when I lose.
I say keyboard, innit? That's even worse.
Well, I could have said that. But you know, Simon Dunham from Cornwall, if you're listening, yeah, I know you really do play on keyboard, and I have to big you up. You are sick, but you're a bum. You need to get a job. You're a batty man.
No, he needs to cut his hair as well.
Yeah, blatant. He did cut his hair one time, and it looked quite sick. Yeah. And then after that, he just looked bare like Steve McManaman.
Rab.
Yeah.
I don't actually know what to ask you now, man.
But look, you know,
I'm a bit mental on the mic.
Wait, listen, you know you got blown up by a Makoto player.
Okay, yeah.
Is that because there are no sick Makoto players in London?
That's pretty much the reason why. Okay, getting a bit more serious now. Basically, I don't really know the options that Urien properly has against Makoto. His headbutt sucks after her, you know, Hayate strings, because she can just poke you out of it. You can try jumping away when she resets you in the corner, and that will escape the command grab. But unfortunately, if she does not do the command grab and you jump away, you're going to get hit by a move and get reset in the air again, putting her in the exact same position to either again go for a command grab or do whatever. So knee drop sort of out of the corner when she has reset you is kind of out of the question. I do try to knee drop out of the corner a lot against a lot of characters, but Makoto, I just can't do it against her.
But did you hear though, like during your match, Ryan was shouting for you to do more fireballs?
Yeah, I was thinking, I didn't actually hear that because it was pretty loud where I was sitting on the stage. So Ryan, you should have shouted louder. Actually, that's the reason why I lost now. I didn't hear what you were saying. But basically, if I'd done fireballs, yeah, he was dashing in, but I think he would have clocked like the first 2 fireballs maybe, and then thought, well, okay, let me just change my tactics up a little bit. Maybe that would have given me a bit more grounds to start approaching him, make him a bit more scared, a bit more shook, you get me? Instead of just like trying to intimidate him by showing him like my muscles and, you know, flexing them in front of him. But he might have got the wrong idea in it, so I allowed that. So
do you not hear anything the crowd shout while you're playing? Because I was shouting bare things at you, like not do fireballs, like I was shouting you with
I only heard some stuff when I won that one round. I did hear quite a lot of stuff going on, like people, you know, whether they were shouting, yeah, come on Raju, or man, you are some batty man, or something. I don't know what it was, but I did hear a few things. When I'm playing, no, I don't hear nothing. It's just me, tunnel vision, looking at the screen, mashing bare buttons, not knowing what the hell I'm doing. That's what happens when I play.
When you play games like that, where you proper get mashed up and you don't know how to play against the character, or she has a mass advantage or whatever, does it ever make you feel like you want to switch to like some top tier? Or you just want to stick with you?
To be honest, I suck pretty bad with the top tiers. I'm alright with Yun, and I do terrorize carpool heads on GGPO with him, yeah. But when it comes to offline, I feel very uncomfortable and insecure with playing a top tier character, because I feel as though my matchup knowledge just doesn't do justice to actually using them. So I try to avoid them. Chun, you know, some people might say she's slightly the easy way out, but I'm pretty certain whatever character I would have used against Tomei, he would have beaten me anyway. So I had to go with the character that I know the most, which is Urien.
But the thing is, yeah, in a tournament, when you get mashed up as badly as you did in your first match, I mean, what do you think?
Thanks, Ryan.
No, you did. It's true. It's on
I'm saying thanks, Ryan, to other Ryan for not shouting loud enough, not you.
Oh, sick, yeah.
Yeah, but you got bumped there, though, innit? You got skate. You got upset there.
I got a bit scared as well because like you're actually looking quite evil today, but
But
what do you do like when you get
I didn't shave.
up?
That's why I didn't shave. That's all it is.
No, me neither.
I've started copying you, looking like one of those. What was it? Eastern European tramps.
Blatant. But what do you do when you get banged up?
All right, when I got banged up, I had to basically, shake the guy's hand. See, this is what happens when I start talking when I'm very excited. I just start getting all these words mixed up and stuff.
Don't worry about it, man. Just keep going.
Yeah. And it kind of explains why my mix-ups are proper stupid in third strike as well. Like when I do tackle into EX Aces and then into nothing, blatant.
Yeah.
So what happened was I shook his hand and I said, you know what? I was telling people before, I think this guy's going to win it. And hey, he went on to win it. So I lost to the winner of the tournament, which means I'm better than the rest of you. I'm just not better than him.
Yeah, but right, when you lost that first match against him, obviously you have a second match. Like when you get beaten that bad, what do you do? Do you change tactics?
The first match, after I lost that, I was totally overwhelmed. He perfected me in the first round. And that's the thing that I was fearing the most, that I'd get perfected in the first round, and it actually came true, believe it or not. What are the odds? I'm so sick, how can I get perfected? I was thinking it would never happen. It's never happened before. Maybe, I don't know. But so after that, I decided what I'm going to try and do is jump a bit more. Now, did I jump a bit more? I'm not even sure, because I got a bit of a mental block as to how the match panned out in the end. Maybe I did, I'm not sure, but I knew that if I jump, he's going to try them scissor kicks. And I knew all of his patterns, but a lot of the time, I didn't know what to do about them. Coming into the match, I knew a lot of his patterns. He does one normal scissor kick, and then he does an EX one. Yeah.
Or the low lights. He does a lot of those.
He does a lot of low lights because it's got a priority, and then he does the hand ground slap thing. The EX version he usually does. In my match, he was doing a lot of double standing strongs, and he wasn't doing that in casuals. So that's something he tried to program me, sort of thing. And I was trying to parry that second standing strong, and it wasn't happening for some reason. I don't know what was happening. My timing was out, or I don't know what it was.
But you know yourself, like from when we've gone to France at tournaments, like the way they play in casuals is completely different to the way they
play in
tournaments.
They are, they're really, really conservative. That's the best way to put them. Especially their Shoto players. They don't like to jump much in France. They just don't like to get the club jumping. You get me? But basically, what happened was he didn't change his game that much. He was owning me exactly like that in casuals as well, and he pretty much kept it consistent throughout the tournament, from what I saw. So that's really good. That is actually a strong attribute of a player, if you're able to play like how you do in casuals in a tournament, in my opinion. And I only really see like really, really top players in Europe, Japan, and not top players in Japan, even average players in Japan are able to do that. When I went to SBO, when I qualified, you get me? Well, I actually didn't do any work.
Wait there. What did you do in SBO in your match?
Yeah, in SBO in my match, yeah. Right, I did this sick tactic, right? I don't know if you have seen the match. You're gonna have to check out Team Was It a Perfect though. Playing in 2007, and we came up against Rao. It was me, Naz, and C4. Couple old school heads there in the mix. Just thought I'd mention them, give a shout out, yeah. So basically, what happened was I did what did I actually do?
It was against the Chunkis.
How did I launch him? Did I launch him though?
You did launch him. I'm sure you did.
Did I get a spear? I can't remember.
No, it was spear.
Yeah, I got a spear, and then I did tackle, and you can do another tackle, but I did a standing low short, and I tried to completely, mess his mind up.
Honestly, I didn't. You screwed up the tackle.
I didn't. I did that on purpose. Seriously, I did. And because of that, I pretty much lost. And I was prancing around like a pansy in that match and just getting hit by every time I was trying to get close to him.
How was SBO?
SBO was an amazing experience. I would love to go again, but to be honest, I'm kind of past all that now. For me, it was always a one-time thing, to be honest. But if I was to go again, it wouldn't be for SBO. It would just be to go Japan again at whatever time. Have a few casuals.
What do you mean you're past all that?
Like, it was a been there, done that thing for me.
Yeah.
More than anything, which shows my mentality as a player. Clearly, I'm not even that dedicated, and because I just don't see it as a viable way to make a living, to justify all that time playing. And I've tried it. It's trial and error for me. I've tried it, and it just doesn't work for me. I'm just not that good, and I can't clock onto tactics that quickly. Hence why I don't do too well in tournaments. Most of the time, but a lot of the time I do, and I have won a couple tournaments as well, so I'm better than most of you. Once again, I am better than most of you.
Alright, I think now would be a good time for the question of, do you ever regret getting into gaming, or like, because you've always said after every tournament, this is going to be my last tournament, I'm going to retire.
Right, I've retired to count now about, I would say around 20 times. And do you know what? I'm not the only person who does that. Stephen Hendry, who's world champion 7 times in snooker.
He's been to a couple tournaments.
He's been to. I can probably match my achievements with him. So I would say, comparing it to him, he said the same thing. A lot of the last few years, he says he's going to retire and he doesn't. Same thing with me. I keep saying I'm going to retire and I don't. I guess the addiction brings me back. That's mostly what brings me back to playing this game, to feed the addiction. Not so much to feed my ego, because I don't get too egotistic when I win and stuff. This is all just a joke on the podcast, by the way. I am actually a really, really humble person. You can ask Daigo. Yeah.
Right, there's been talk on the forums about like the third strike scene and how to bring it back, blah, blah, blah. Do you think it will ever be back to what it was?
Okay, right.
Like in the days when you guys went to SBO, like.
See, now that's interesting. I think the player base is going to get pretty big again when Third Strike Online comes out, but it's going to get big online. I think the same thing's going to happen that happened with Super Street Fighter 4. You're going to have a lot of good players playing online, but then they're going to turn up to offline tournaments, and I think the exact same thing's going to happen with Third Strike Online. I'm personally probably going to get it. I'm such a tramp. I haven't even got any of the next generation consoles, so I'm going to have to get all the equipment, the stick, the game, the next generation console, whichever one I choose to get it on, Xbox or PS3. And I will be playing it. I'm just going to have a friends list. I'm going to add PrivateRyan.
No, you're not.
And I hope he accepts it.
No, you're not.
And okay.
No, actually, South London heads, yeah.
Blatant! London. PrivateRyan is another Southwest London head representing all the mandem in Collier's Wood, yeah. And I'm like /Tooting /Streatham, kind of all over the place, really. I have Streatham in my address, but I always say to everyone that I'm from Tooting, Tooting. Yeah. Blatant.
No, man, what do you think of Dragon's level these days?
Dragon, I think he has. Oh my days!
No, wait there.
Shen just walked in.
Shen has just walked
the
by.
Shen
He's embarrassed.
and Ollie as well. Big up to Ollie. The Shen just walked in. You guys don't know about this man, and he's wearing a sick T-shirt today.
No, Shen, come here, Shen.
Shen, come on, quick few words, man. I don't even care if he interrupts my podcast.
Shen, give a shout out to all your fans.
Go for it.
So for all the subscribers out there, get a life.
Yeah!
So there you go. No, I promise.
Dirty holes.
Love you all, honestly, I really do.
See, look at that. Raju's been talking for 11 minutes, and Shen turns up and blows him up in 11 seconds.
He just blew me up, mate. You know what I mean?
And look, Shen is going to get his chance to get his full fucking half an hour podcast.
Comments after that. Fucking bastard.
Yeah.
Also, anybody trolling me on YouTube, I love you. Seriously, I love you lot, man. You lot are sick. You lot are
wait there. Didn't Ramza turn up today?
Yeah,
Wasn't he one of the heads who always trolled you?
He used to troll me like a long time ago, and he did apologise in all fairness.
Oh, okay.
But I did have casuals with him, and I did blow him up something like 5-1.
Oh, is that how you're going on?
Yeah, but to be honest, I've seen his matches online, and he plays a lot better. So I'm thinking, in the comfort of his own home, he probably plays a lot better anyway. I think he might have been a little bit nervous.
That's the same with everyone, isn't it?
Yeah,
not exactly going to be.
Not really me. Not me. I'm actually worse when I'm at home, because I'm not even like, I'm half asleep when I'm playing. So
do you get nervous when you're on stage?
When I'm on stage, okay. Today against Tome, I was a little bit nervous because he'd blown me up every single time in casuals, as I've said. How many more times are you trying to find an excuse to make me say that?
No, I'm not necessarily saying today. Look, man, you've been to Evo and everything.
I'm trying to make you feel bad, isn't it? Blatant.
I don't mind, man.
Yeah, you don't mind, you know what I mean? So, what it is, I don't normally get nervous. I'm pretty solid, rock solid guy. My hands don't really shake that much and stuff. And I actually sweat repulsively when I start getting quite nervous.
Like you are now, yeah?
No, I'm not sweating now, actually, surprisingly, because I'm not nervous right now. But when I am, I do actually sweat a little bit. And my palms don't sweat, it just comes from my forehead, really. Yeah. My armpits don't sweat.
That's way more detailed than I wanted.
Yeah, I know, but they don't really have, like, sure forehead or something.
It's like, you know when you get a cold drink and there's carpal condensation.
Or links for forehead, you get me? I might have to wear one of them bands, innit? Like one of them
condensation on man's head, innit?
Yeah,
it looks like a cold
bottle of
Coke.
Get an ice bag on my head, innit? Get a nice ice bag on my head.
Oh, you have to get one of them white ones so you just look straight up Middle Eastern, boy.
Straight up,
Come in rago, boy.
Come in on a camel, innit? That was sick. Alright, so anyway, next question, man. I'll answer that one.
Oh, how long?
Should do the quickfire round.
Okay, we're 17 minutes in. We better bust the quickfire round.
Yeah.
The Shen is not actually meant to hear this, so I'll have to make some more funnier quickfire questions for him.
Oh, the Shen's witnessing the quickfire round, yeah?
Alright, so basically...
Block your ears, give him one of them M-offs like in them game quiz shows, man.
Shen's watching with me slightly confused.
Yeah. Basically, you got to answer within like, you got about a second. Yeah. So just as soon as I ask...
And if it's a duplicate, will you ask me for another? Like they do in Family Fortunes?
Yeah.
Alright, go.
Okay. Ken or Ryu?
Ken.
Ryu or Ryu?
Ryu.
Arcade or house sessions?
Arcade mode.
Evo or SPO?
SPO.
360 or PS3?
I don't care.
Rakurai or Rudy?
Rakarudi.
Sweet and sour chicken or king prawns?
Sweet and sour. What is it? Rice and on bison. What is it?
Served on M bison. Yeah.
Served on M bison.
Good
That
answer,
one.
good answer,
Yeah,
good answer.
blatant.
Third strike or SF4 blatant?
SF4 innit?
Oh, you dickhead. Pedram or Pedram Sui?
Oh, interesting one.
1 second, man.
Oh, is it? Okay, I'll pass. Come back to it later.
SF4 vs Tekken or the other way around?
The other way around.
Is Chunkis boom or brass?
He's boom brass, batty hole, Irish, piss patch, pikey. Yeah.
Is Michael Jackson black or white?
Oh, I don't know if he's black or white, man. I heard that song a lot of times and I just can't tell.
You can't tell. Okay,
Yeah.
did OJ do it?
Did who?
Did OJ do it? Yes or no?
Oh, yeah. OJ
He
did it. Yeah, OJ did
Did
it,
Michael
yeah.
Jackson actually, do things to small children?
Probably, yeah, because I reckon he's Q in Third Strike.
Jink or Kazu?
Kazu.
Kazu Chopper or just Kazu?
Kazu Chopper. That sounds bad.
Leighton. Okay, that's all.
Although I don't watch One Piece, but I know that's where it comes from. Am I right?
Yeah.
See, that's how sick I am.
Alright,
man.
basically you can go back to tooting now.
Safe.
Yeah,
I'm
you
going
can
back to,
actually
Tooting,
go back to
South
Tooting.
London, the jungle. You get me? But I just want to big up to everybody who came to SVB. Although I have to say the organisation was terrible.
Oh shit.
Not
my
blaming
God.
any one person, but
Oh
there
my God.
was no cohesion between the people who were
Tooting's gonna
organising.
get nuked tonight, boy.
You know what?
Couple mans.
We got mans and Tooting.
Is
so,
it?
Yeah, right.
You got shanks in Tooting.
We got shanks.
Kebab knives, innit?
But
Kebab
you know,
knives.
you know those heads in Tooting.
We got them carving ones, innit? Them
The
carving
kebab ones.
kebab knives.
You know
man.
those
We got
heads at Tooting are like waiting outside the tube station for you to turn
Yeah,
up.
yeah,
They like
yeah.
think you've won the tournament. You'll be like,
Yeah.
nah, I got blown up by a French Makoto player, and they'll be like shanking you, innit?
Yeah, that's why I'm actually driving home today. I'm not taking the tube because I know I'm
You're
gonna
driving
get
straight through Tooting, straight
I'm
past Tooting.
I'm gonna avoid
They're gonna be
Tooting.
throwing
I'm
rocks at
taking
your
a
car.
bender. Yeah, blatant, man.
Anyways.
Right,
it's
man.
been
No,
a
it
pleasure-
was a sick podcast. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's
Seriously,
been a
man.
pleasure
Yeah,
having you
never
on.
again.
Are you going to listen
Never
to it?
again.
You have to listen to it back.
No, I'm not gonna listen to it, man. I'm gonna probably download it, listen to the first 5 minutes, and then it's going
Fuck
into
it,
the
fuck it.
recycle bin. You get me?
Alright, I'm going to edit out all of the good stuff you said. And just
Oh
make
my
it
God, he's trying to make me look brass. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
sick tactics.
Alright, man. Cool.
Safe.
You can get back to your
It's a
casuals
wrap.
and continue losing.
Interview 2 with Prodigal Son. Or Ryan Hart.
Alright, guys, we're here on day 3 of SVB, and I'm joined by the legend himself, the Prodigal Son.
Hello, thank you for having me on your little show. I'm happy to take part in SBB and that. It's always fun to meet the guys and hang out with everyone. So yeah, it's nice to be here.
Cool. Alright, let's dive straight in then. I'll start off with serious questions and then we'll
Okay.
mix in a couple of jokes
Okay.
ones and stuff.
No problem.
So what games have you entered here?
Well, this year I entered Tekken 6,
Yeah.
Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, what else? HD Remix,
Yeah.
and obviously Super Street Fighter 4.
Yeah. Okay,
Those are the 4 games.
which one out of those are you focusing more on at the moment? Do you just juggle between all of them?
Well, it's kind of
equal
difficult,
attention?
but basically I've only practiced Super Street Fighter 4,
Yeah.
really. I haven't played the others at all. So, in tournament it's been really difficult for me. But I would say I'm focusing on Super Street Fighter 4.
Yeah, and you're in top 8 now, right?
Yes.
Do you know who you're playing in the next round?
I don't actually. I might be playing Slizzle.
Slizzle?
Yeah.
Oh, have you played him before?
Yeah, I've played him in casuals before.
Is he any good?
He's a good player, but he's a good player, so we'll see what happens.
But you're feeling confident?
Well, I mean, I'm here to do my best. So
Yeah, true. Obviously, we just had the finals of Street Fighter Third Strike,
Yeah.
and you're in the finals with Tome,
Yeah.
the Makoto player. How did you feel your performance went? Did you feel like you gave it your all? And
No, I really feel that I didn't, and I mean, not that I was sandbagging or trying not to play my best, but
Yeah.
I just really know that because I haven't played the game, my level has just disintegrated on that game. So getting to the final was even a good thing for me because having not played that game at all, can't really expect to win. So,
Yeah.
but the way I lost was actually really disappointing because I even though I thought I was completely terrible, I wasn't outplayed in the match at all, and I actually had the match the round guaranteed, which would have put me 1 up and on match winning round, tournament winning round, and
Yeah.
you know, it was actually guaranteed. So it's not like I got outplayed or he guessed me or something. It's like actually just I didn't punish him.
Yeah.
And all I had to do was a crouching medium sweep after I blocked Hayate.
Oh,
Instead I went for a big dragon.
Yeah.
So I don't know why I thought that was going to
So was that when you did the low hard punch into super? No, that was after he did the super as well. That was another one.
He did the Hayate and I blocked it and I did the dragon to chip him. I thought he was going to. He had no life and I thought that would kill him.
Oh, the fierce dragon. He dashed back, didn't he?
No, it's
Did he jump
guaranteed.
up? Oh, of course. Yeah, sorry.
No, the first. Okay, there were 2 instances. There was one where he won the run with the jump up parry, and there was that was the one when he made it 1-1.
Yeah.
Then on the third match for the tournament, on the first round, I had it guaranteed, and then Dragon whiffed completely, even though it was. But so what I'm saying is basically because I haven't been playing, you know, my memory is not there. So like I didn't remember that all I need to do is actually just crouch medium sweep, you know, or super or anything. Even EX Fiber would have worked because he had no life. He would have been a chip. So you know, anything would have worked other than what I did. So it's just, but that's fine. You know, I'm really upset about that because obviously I really feel that I would have won the second round during, given the pressure he would have been under and stuff. He was really scraping it to make a comeback. So like you know that would have put him under a lot of pressure, and I think I would have taken it. And to be honest with you, after I lost that first round, I wasn't in the match at all.
No.
The second round of the final game, no. That was it. So yeah.
So you didn't pull your old like Ryan Hart comeback mode.
Yeah.
You and Daigo have that in similar.
Yeah.
The mentality of.
I mean, that usually happens when you actually play a game. If you're not playing, it's hard to do that kind of thing. But yeah.
I noticed in group stages. You could clearly see that you hadn't practiced the game at all.
Yeah.
But you actually did get a lot better through the very
during
minimal
the course
amount
of the
games.
Yeah.
Who did you have before that? The Makoto
before
player.
that I had the other Makoto player.
He was easier, wasn't he?
They're both about the same, I think.
Serious?
Yeah, they play different, but their level is about
the same.
The same, yeah.
So did you find his play style just a bit easier to deal with?
I think they're both the same. Yeah.
Okay,
one defends more, one attacks more. That's the difference I can see, but yeah, nothing really else big.
And of course, before that, you had Elegant Turtler. We spent hours yesterday playing against Ken.
Yeah.
And then you came and picked Yun, and he just got blown up. We spent ages playing against Ken. You know. Oh man. But tough luck to Rob.
Yeah.
You know, you should have trained against everyone.
Yeah. Well, it's quite well known that I use Ken and Yun, so.
Yeah, I guess you should have seen that coming.
Yeah.
Okay, a few general questions about yourself.
Cool.
How long have you been playing like video games? Just not necessarily fighting games.
Well, yesterday was like the first time I ever played a game.
Is it?
Yeah.
So you've done quite well for yourself.
No, I'm just kidding. I've been playing games. Fighting games?
Yeah. Well, no. Just like general games.
Video games. Well, since I was 10, I'd say.
Serious?
Yeah. So a long time.
Was that? How did you get into it?
Just randomly stumbled.
How did you get into fighting games? Sorry.
Well, fighting games came about from playing Street Fighter 1 in a minicab office.
Serious?
And just a random minicab office in my local area.
Yeah.
And basically, it never really got competitive on number 1. It was more about who could complete the game with Raju.
Minicab sessions.
Yeah.
No
who could clock the game without getting hit or all these crazy things. And that was how competition got built up. But then when Street Fighter 2 came out, it really became competitive. It really became about, once people saw like the character select screen, the character selection, the big sprites, people were so impressed, and it was like you'd never seen any fighting game like that before.
Yeah.
And things got really hot then. Everyone was playing Street Fighter 2. Everyone was on it. And that's when it really started, I think.
And did you used to hit the arcades back then, or was it still in like
I know
fish and chip shops and all these kind of crazy places?
It was more minicab offices, fish and chip shops, sweet shops sometimes.
Yeah.
It wasn't really like developed arcades like Trocadero and places like that we have now.
Just like small scale places.
It was just tiny things that had a little machine or two in the place too. And then later on, you started to get, I think when Magic came out, the card game Magic, you'd start getting places where people would gather to play Magic, but then also they'd have an arcade in the back or something. You'd have games there. And when people caught wind of these arcades, people started coming down and playing, and competition was really interesting. But there were never tournaments. It was just playing.
Casually.
Just casually. Yeah, it was serious, but it wasn't for anything. Just to be the winner that stays on.
Yeah. So was there like tiers and stuff back then?
No.
Was there like top heads, low heads?
There wasn't tiers. There wasn't frames. There wasn't options of legs. There wasn't anything that you had. None of the terms
existed. Was there only like top
existed.
heads, or were you like the original top head?
No. I was never a top player. I was always okay, but I was never a top player. I was always just like the guy who can win, or every now and again I'll do well against like some good players, but I was never the best and anything like that. And depending, I think, after a certain amount of time in my own area, I started to kind of raise the bar a little bit and get a bit better. And it's only until really I started to play in central London that I got a lot better. Playing in, you know, sort of border of like Croydon, sort of out border of London basically, I actually thought I was good because playing in my local area I still wasn't the best, but I was one of the good players. So even though I wasn't the best, I didn't think playing in central London would be so much different, but when I went there, everyone was too much better.
Serious?
It was depressing because you thought you were somewhere and you
Yeah,
just
because
realised
when you're in your own area blowing everyone up,
You
you're
think,
like,
yeah.
actually, I can blow everyone in the world up. This is
this
is my game.
Our first tournament was in 1994, and it was in Trocadero. It was so
hell.
long ago now. It was sponsored by Kiss FM. It was for Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, and we went there and we were just destroyed. We were so depressed afterwards. You know, on the train going there, everyone was hyped up. Yeah, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. They had a singles tournament and a team tournament. We were so happy about winning bows. How are we gonna spend the money? Where are we gonna go for dinner?
Oh my God, you'd
and
always
on the way,
spend the money, you
and
know?
bare noise and everyone complaining. Can you guys keep the noise down? Because we're in a big group of like 20, 30 people, and we're just making so much noise.
How old were you back then? Like probably young, you know?
Yeah, I would have been like 15.
Okay,
so,
yeah.
So you know, like bare people making all this noise, and then people like, can you keep the noise down, please? We're trying to read the paper. We're trying to trying to speak on the phone and whatnot. And it was so funny because on the way back it was the complete opposite. No one speaking to anyone. Everyone just looking out the window. You know, head in hands, depressed. No one doing anything. It was so bad because we just got obliterated.
Did that make you like want to train harder, or was no one in the arcades anymore?
I think there was a bit of a divide. I think some players realised that actually this isn't for me, and some people thought, you know what, I like what I saw today. I think I can be part of that, and I want to be involved. So.
Obviously, you was in that crowd.
I guess, Well, not straight away. Maybe in the beginning, you kind of feel a bit, you know,
a bit down,
drained, and you feel after a big loss, you feel mentally drained, and so that's what it takes out of you. And so basically, after that, we sort of, you know, just gave it a break for a while, and then got back to it once we could.
So then when 3S came out, you guys straight went to that?
Well, by the time 3S came out, I no longer lived in Croydon. I sort of lived in northwest London, so the other side of the map. And I didn't actually like Third Strike. I was heavily into King of Fighters at the time. I think I was into 97, 98, you know, playing a lot, so I never really cared about Third Strike. But it started to clash with some KOF tournaments. You'd have a KOF tournament and there'd be a 3S tournament at the same venue, so you'd see the game being played. And I gave it a go. I always give, you know, especially a Street Fighter game, I'll always give it a chance. But when I saw how the mechanics worked, I just didn't like it. I didn't understand the parries. I didn't like the way that a jump wasn't a commitment anymore. You could parry now, so if they drag in, it can be blocked. I parried, mind you. Parried, my bad. So I didn't like that, and I wanted it to be that, you know, if I do a fireball and he jumps, then he's guessing my fireball, and then he, you know, he's rewarded for that commitment.
Thinking a bit more technically.
But you know, on Third Strike, it was like if he jumps, even though it's a jump, you know, he can still have a chance of getting out of whatever. So that. But
it's a bit of getting used to.
I think after a while, I don't know why I started taking Third Strike seriously. I remember being at Hatim's house one time, and I used to use Raju, you know, like my best combo was crouching medium sweep, fireball super. I thought I was the best. I thought this is the base, this is the most amazing combo. You know, because you couldn't do anything like that on Super Turbo. You couldn't do like a special into a super. You couldn't do a normal into a special into super, so that looked quite dynamic when you'd never seen it before. So I thought, right, you know, loads of hits, this looks cool.
Quite boom, and a couple of jellies,
Until one day I did it on some guy and he parried the whole thing, and I was just like, whatever, this game's rubbish. So anyway, basically, I was at Hatim's place, we were just playing together, and I asked him, you know, so what's all this about Ken? I keep hearing about Ken. Everyone's using Ken, you know, there were no Ryus, everyone's using Ken. Why is everyone using Ken for? And Hatim just laid it all out for me. He's like, you know, okay, look, basically, Ryu's really strong, he's a really good character, but Ken is, you know, he's even stronger, he has more that you need to be afraid of up close, you know, he's got the overhead into super, he's got so many things that, not that Ryu doesn't have, but he can base his game on so many different aspects, and so, you know, that makes him all round a stronger character. And so, you know, basically I thought to myself, well, if I want to start taking this game seriously, maybe I should switch to Ken. And I think that week I started using Ken for the first time, and it was really hard. It was really, really difficult. It wasn't just like I picked Ken and it was a cakewalk. No, because I still had areas of the system that I needed to learn. I still had skills I needed to learn, like how to parry, what timing certain moves had to be parried with, you know, and stuff like that. And once I got that down, I noticed that I started to get better in casuals, and I started to be recognized as someone who can do this. He can parry this move, or he's the guy who can red parry that and stuff like that.
Red parry is serious back then.
Well, like only small things, like, and not all the time.
Yeah,
so I can only do it sometimes, but but if you saw it, it was like, oh, that guy did a red parry, you know.
Yeah, sounds special.
So and then basically, I think I started training up for tournaments. They had started having ranking battles at Trocadero, and I could never win. Like there was Chunkis used to win. Chunkis was really good. Chef was really good, and you had all these players. Like there was Morning Call, the HY, HKC. There were all these amazing. Like everyone was so amazing. It was like pointless. You know, you go there and you see everyone, and you see all these variation of characters, but like you know nothing about any of them. And after that, I'd never played in the tournament because it was just too high level for me. But I would play casuals with whoever played afterwards, if they stuck, whoever stuck around. And I never really did that well, and it just wasn't that motivating. You know, I didn't think. For some reason, the game, the way I lost on the game, didn't make me think I want to be better at this game.
It's just like fuck this game.
But after a while, like there was this one time after a VF tournament where I did really well against these guys in casuals. The first and only time. And it made me think, okay, maybe I'll enter. And so the only one time I actually entered this RB, I got my ass kicked by this Alex guy. And I think you play a group, you play a bunch of people. So and I lost. And I think that's when I said, okay, look, I see I've got something going. But there's more. I think there can be more for me. So and then I had the chat with Hatim and then Ken. And after a while, I started to see some results. And then I think when I won my first tournament, I think it was at Golden Gunman's house. And that's when I did the pretty impressive parry with against Raju's Urien Aegis Reflector.
Serious?
Yeah, he didn't Aegis. He threw me into the corner as he does. Aegis Reflector and mixed it all up, and I parried everything.
Serious?
Yeah, and I'd never parried
Ups
everything.
and downs and all that.
And I think I teched the throw at the end or something as well.
Oh, fun.
So no, I threw him at the end of it all. So bare parries and I threw him. And that was the first time I'd ever successfully done something impressive.
And everyone blew up.
Everyone was going crazy, and they'd obviously never seen that before. So that gave me confidence, you know. And I ended up winning the whole tournament. So after that, I kind of felt happier about my, my level, and it just went from there, really.
And then like a couple years later, you properly into the game. When you actually got dedicated into the game and you were in it entirely, how long were you practicing? Like, did you practice much at home, or was it entirely?
I practiced a lot at home. I practiced on training mode. I learned how to parry, all the things that people would do in matches, so everything would be realistic to what could happen. I practiced certain characters. You know, I learned a lot of characters on that game. I wasn't just using Ken and Yun. Like, I knew how to use at least half or a bit more than half of the cast. So
is that just to know how they would work?
No. I actually enjoyed using. I really enjoyed playing other characters. Hugo, you know, it's a totally different style. You have to be very patient. It's very interesting. You need a lot of really good defense with a character like that. So it was an area to express your skill in the game with a different character. And I really liked using Hugo. He's the kind of surprise character, you know, geek us out of nowhere. It's kind of impressive to see. Him. I mean, Dudley, I really like the rushdown style, you know, overheads, mix-ups and stuff. Dudley Yang, similar to Yun, but not quite Yun, so, you know, Yang was different. And there were just so many characters that I really liked to use, and so that's basically how I got that. I think using loads of characters got me deeper into the game, and that helped me develop my styles with Ken and Yun even more. So it all.
So you were using Yun back then as well, like when you were
probably, but not in tournaments. Probably just had him on casuals. You know, I used to use him at home maybe.
And stuff, cool combos and stuff.
And I just couldn't do Genijin combos for some reason. I just couldn't time it. I just couldn't time Genijin combos.
Is it? Sit a bit closer. So like how? So you do lots of training modes, all that stuff that you said. How much, like, figure-wise, is there any certain figures, or would it just be like, oh, today I'm bored, I'm going to have a couple hours of training?
It's more like, the motivation for practice, I would say, would be when I lost to someone, or when I lost a tournament, or when when I'm bored and I think, let me try this out. I used to like being really creative, like, if you parry it this way, you know, can you get more out of it and stuff like Ken Super, for example. Everybody, the general thing I would see is a Ken versus Ken scenario, and the one Ken will do Jinrai. The second Ken will block the first hit, red into the second, and then jump. Or was it two parries and then jump?
Yeah, I think
so. You know. So that's right. You block the first, red the second, third, then jump and get the full combo. And what I like to do was to parry the first hit, then jump back on the second hit, because he comes right into you and then you get a full combo as well. But it's a different. It looks different, it looks different. It's harder to do, so it has that style merit to it, and that's I always like to be a bit different with stuff like that. So
you like to get the crowd enjoying the match as well. Yeah.
So
helps you get motivated.
You know, and then I started using Yun, and people are like, "Oh, can you do Carrot Palms?" I'm like, "What's Carrot Palms? What's this?"
Yeah.
You know?
So then try
learning that, and you know, it's always an achievement when you can get something accomplished and then pull it off in a match.
Yeah, and actually use it like you did a couple today.
Yeah.
Couple
so
risky
first
ones.
round, it's immediately into it.
Right, that was proper risky.
Yeah, and that's just one of those things. I mean, I think that's one of the attractions with Third Strike. It's quite. It's quite amazing to watch, isn't it? You know, you can see so many crazy things in one round.
Yeah, so you can do cool stuff, but you can also do weird ways of doing cool stuff in different ways, and
you can. I think there's more area for creativity over there than SF4. So.
Yeah, that's another question. Like, don't you feel that the reason why the Third Strike players don't like SF4 is because there's not much room for creativity? It just seems like the best combo is the basic combo.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
I guess so. You could say that. Yeah.
Is that how you feel as well, or do you feel that you like the basic combos? You like the system because you obviously like
I think like
old versions.
Well, basically, I mean, you see, one thing people need to understand is 354 is not supposed to be Third Strike. It's not meant to be, you know, the next iteration from 3S. It's a completely different game. But I would say that a lot of the people that don't like SF4 probably don't like it because, you know, obviously, first of all, the parry system's gone, and that's what people are really nurtured with on 3S. But also, the way you play SF4, I think has less variation than the way you can play 3S. There's not as much you can do that's solid. You know, there's more ways to be. You can kind of be like. A bit more freestyle on 3S and still be really effective as well. SF4 is a lot stricter than that. You can't afford to do too many things. You know, you have to play a set way and play very safe and very careful. You know, and I think that because of the lack of the parry system, you're forced to use less things. Yeah, like you can't jump. You can't, like, for example,
creativity or.
Well, in some ways, I mean,
or
especially if
the creativity in finding ways around it is also.
Well, I mean, the parry system allows people to set the opponent up to do a certain move, and you can do that on SF4. But obviously, if you don't have parries, then that's one thing less. So you can do everything you can on SF4, but without the parries. So, like, you know, so there's less things you can do on the game. But if you just look at the pace of matches in general, it's not as fast paced. You know, it doesn't necessarily require. As fast reactions, especially with certain characters. So, like, you know, on SF4, it doesn't matter who you use. You need to have good reactions. You need to be fast. You need to be sharp with execution and stuff. So, you know, there's a lot of easier combos and a lot of easier commands. You know, input commands on SF4. So, kind of lowers the entry level barrier for players, and that's a good thing in a way. But then it kind of takes away the whole. You know, needing skill to play and stuff, a lot of things, you know, kind of go out the window a bit. But.
So obviously you played over the last few days you've been here. You played several people at SF4, I assume. Are there any foreign heads coming over? Because I haven't played any at all, like any SF4 over the last few days.
Right.
Is there any foreign heads that have come over that have impressed you, or they all like reserved for SF3?
I was very impressed with V Ryu's Makoto. I mean, even Daigo said that's the best best Makoto he's ever seen.
Yeah,
so even in Japan,
better than Ino.
So you know, on SF4. So I mean, I as soon as I saw him, I was like, wow, I've never seen Makoto played like that. PR Borog said there's, you know, he's from America. He said there's no Makoto as good as that as well. So that means
Vira is a UK guy, yeah.
He's from Switzerland.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that means he's probably has the best Makoto in the world. You know.
Serious.
Probably. So that's him. Skatan Miller with Sakura from Sweden. He was very impressive to watch. I think he's got the best Sakura in Europe. I don't really know about the Sakura players outside of Europe. I heard there's a good one in America. I can't remember his name, but I think Skatan's probably better than him too.
So there's some really proper top tier world class heads here today.
I would say that the way people have been creating stuff on SF4 is very impressive. You know, to be prepared, that ready for a European tournament, come down, do your stuff. I think that's very nice to see.
Okay. After seeing all these heads, and the finals coming up later on today, Who do you think is gonna win, or at least top 3?
Yeah.
What is your
well,
predictions?
basically, I can kind of cover that question with the end of the last question.
Okay.
But so obviously, Luffy with Rose, he's very good with Rose. You know, it's really rare to see such a solid Rose. The Fei Long guys from France, Evans and Starnab. Starnab beating Daigo in the casual first to 2, and then Evans beating Daigo in the team tournament.
Right.
It's really impressive to see those guys. We don't have any Fei Longs in the UK, so we kind of only really get to see Fei Long when those guys come over.
Yeah.
Same with Rose as well, which is actually an issue because a lot of the guys here lose because they just don't know the matchup.
Yeah.
But I would say one of those guys will probably win if Daigo doesn't win, because obviously you've got Daigo in top 8, you've got PR Borog with Boxer, you've got Luffy with Rose, you've got Evans with Fei Long. So there are so many names that you could just see up there taking
to win.
Yeah.
Are you feeling confident, or are
I don't even know who I'm playing, but obviously I respect the other players as well, and I'm not on my best game, to be honest. Right now I've been playing and I'm just not. I'm missing stuff when I wouldn't normally, and I can just see my mind. I'm not quite connected to the game. Right?
Yeah.
It's just one of those things. It's so weird. I think it's probably because I've been connecting and disconnecting so rapidly. So many times and so frequently that I just can't get myself back into the game. From playing multiple games, multiple tournaments at this one event. It's just been because I have to get into Tekken, for example, for a tournament match. Then if I win that, I have to still think about Tekken because I have to play it in the next match. But now I'm being called over for a HD remix match, and then I play that, and then I'm being called for a SF4 match, and so I have to keep reconnecting to each game, and I think it's getting too much for me. This multiple games thing, I never do as well as I could because of playing so many at once. Maybe I used to before, but I think now I'm finding it a bit too much to play. Even Daigo, he's really good at 3S and HDR, but he came to this tournament only into SF4, probably for similar purposes, probably for similar reasons.
So would you be looking on actually dropping any of these games, or just investing more time in getting better again?
It's a difficult question. I wouldn't know. It's all it all comes down to what my priorities are at the time a tournament's announced. If I have other things going on and I don't have time to practice, it's not really much I can do.
If, for example, next week there's another tournament, exactly the same games,
then it'd probably be the same thing. I don't think I would have time to practice enough as much as I want to get good enough to win all of them. But if there was a tournament announced and I wasn't doing anything, I was totally free, I could practice all the games, and then I think I would be really effective in tournament on every game. Yeah,
so does it take you like a couple of games to just refresh your memory?
It's not even that it takes a couple of games. I'm the kind of person, I like to come down I like to come down ready. I like to come down with like strategy or tactics already prepared. I don't want to just go on and get a refresh. Like I want to have
be refreshed before you go.
Yeah, I want to come down with new stuff that I've made up at home, that I've developed, and then be ready for tournament. Have things ready for certain characters, certain situations, and that's how I like to play. I don't like to come down and sort of find my way. That's silly. You can't really go to an international event to find your way. You should be on the level when you arrive there.
True, yeah.
So that's why I'm not comfortable in these tournaments, even today and stuff. So
okay, is there any plans for Ryan Hart to go SBO or EVO?
We were going to go SBO this year for Tekken, but one of their teammates kind of can't make it, so
who was the team going to be?
Me, Cobra Commander and Starscream for Tekken 6.
Okay.
And so
SBO exclusively for Tekken?
Yeah.
No, not even trying to.
We already qualified. We have the licenses and everything.
Oh, sick!
So we actually should be going.
You are ready to go,
but one guy can't go. So
okay, fair enough.
I mean, things happen. It's life, isn't it? But we kind of wanted to qualify for SF4. They were going to do a qualifiers here. I'm not sure if that's going to happen now for vanilla SF4. But I don't think that's going to happen now. So. But we'll see.
Just last few questions.
Yeah, cool.
When you're in a high pressure scenario like finals of a massive tournament like here, how do you stay calm? Is there anything you do in particular, or do you just phase everyone out, or does the crowd support you? Does that help you?
I don't think it's something you choose independently. I don't think it's like I decide to block everyone out, or I decide that I'm gonna. You're in the match, and the match has certain specifics to it. You know, if he does this, I do that. If I do this, he can do that. So you already have all those things in mind, and you basically just focus on what needs to be done in the next round. You know, you're focusing on how the match can be played out. Like, okay, he did this that time, so now I'm ready for, or whatever. You know, whatever the match is.
So you're not really worried on all the eyes looking at you.
Yeah, no, it should never be about, oh, people are watching me. I mean, there's always people watching you. So you know, if you play a match and someone's recording it, everyone's watching you because it goes on YouTube. So you should never have to focus on who's watching you. I think you should be you should be so deep into the match that you don't have space in your mind to think about who's watching. That's how it should be.
Oh, okay, so it's taking up all of your brain capacity.
Yeah, it should be I mean, obviously you know that people are there, but it shouldn't be what you're thinking about in the finals of a tournament. That's not what's important. People watching you or what colour t-shirt your opponent's wearing, it shouldn't be relevant.
So do you still get really nervous, or are you just okay now?
I get the excitement butterflies. I always get that. It doesn't matter how many tournaments I enter. When I know that, you know, it's a tense situation, or like like before the tournament, you know, I always get those butterflies. Like, you know, it's going to mean something, and you look forward to it.
That makes it more fun, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, that was the end of the serious questions. I'm going to have like a little quick fire round.
Okay.
You got to give me snappy answers. It's going to be a choice of two.
Okay.
And you just pick one, yeah?
All right, go.
Okay. Ken or Ryu?
Ken.
Ryu or Ryu?
Ryu.
Yeah. Arcade or house sessions?
Arcade.
Evo or SBO?
Evo.
360 or PS3?
360.
Rudy or Rakurai?
Rakurai.
Sweet and sour chicken or king prawns?
King prawns.
Sick. 3S or SF4?
3S.
Sick. Pedram or Pedram Sweet?
Pedram.
Sick. Street Fighter vs Tekken or the other way around?
Street Fighter vs Tekken.
Yeah. Is Chunkis boom or brass?
He's boom.
Did Michael Jackson sleep with those kids?
Yes.
Okay, brilliant. That brings us to the end of this part. Thank you for coming on the show. It's been an honor to have you. And cheers for taking your time out to be here with us.
No problem. It's been great to be on the show, and I hope that, like, you know, people listen to this and get motivated somehow to play and do better. And look forward to next time.
All right, cool, man. Cool. Enjoy casuals.
Thanks.
Interview 3, Chunkis. Nah, listen. I'm always saying nah, listen, because you're nah and you're not listening for some reason.
Hi guys, I'm joined by Chunkis here on the second day of SVB. Just going to be asking him a few questions, and yeah, let's get this rolling. So Chunkis, say hey to the listeners.
Hello everybody.
Yeah,
you mean what
listener? The one listener.
3?
About 4 or 5.
You're lucky if you got your...
Alright, we're going to do a couple of serious questions, couple jokes ones, and see how it goes.
Alright,
so straight up, how long you been playing games?
How long have I been playing Street Fighter?
No, games in general.
Games in general.
Yeah.
Okay, the first arcade game I played was probably 1980, 88, 89. That was eSWAT.
Man, that was not bad,
and that was in San Francisco. Yeah, because I lived out there for a while. So me and my brother, we used to go down to the 7-Eleven and we used to play eSWAT. And that was the first arcade game I played. And then from there I started playing like Golden Axe.
On the Mega Drive.
No, this is arcade. This is all arcade games.
Yeah.
Golden Axe, Double Dragon, Bad Dudes, and all those kind of games. And then when Street Fighter came out, you know, I started playing Street Fighter. Yeah. And that was like 1991.
Yeah. Okay. So proper long time then, yeah?
Yeah.
Alright, how long have you been playing Third Strike?
How long have I been playing Third Strike?
3 years, yeah.
I first played the game in '99 when it came out.
When it came out, yeah.
Yeah, and it wasn't popular, you know. We used to go to the arcade and it was just like everybody was playing all the other games. It never really got any attention.
So how did you get into it then?
Well, I think it was 2001. There was a Third Strike player called Han Yip, and he came down to the arcade and he could play the game to a really high level at the time. And you know, he showed me some stuff in the game. I just started picking it up and got into it that way. Yeah,
some cool stuff.
Yeah, I mean, what it was a match.
There was no YouTube and stuff back
there was
then,
no YouTube back then, so you know, you didn't really know too much about the game. And what inspired me to play it was there was one match in particular. It was Rayhan the Chef versus the HY.
Yeah.
And basically, he was Dudley versus Ryu. The Dudley player jumped in and the Ryu did Shin Shoryuken, but he parried the whole Shin Shoryuken in the air. And that just looked really good, and I thought, wow, this is a really good game.
Yeah, I think everyone.
So I started playing it from then.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So it's been a long time. Well, this is intended for the foreign heads, but
okay.
What do you think of the UK players as a whole? Like, how are we?
Well, Pedram, I mean, the third strike scene in the UK has been dead for a while. I mean, the level of play now is almost non-existent. I mean, everybody's retired. I mean,
what about at our peak?
At the peak, well, it's hard to say when the peak of third strike was, because the game is always changing.
Yeah.
There's always new tactics on third strike. I mean, for me, my peak was like 2003, 2004. That's when I played it a lot and really heavily, like in the arcade, like every day, played it a lot. And then there was another peak, was like 2007, like when Sean was here, Harmonaz was playing the game, Ryan, everybody was playing it really solidly. And it's had its ups and downs.
Okay, so it's never actually been a peak. It's just
well,
been like
I mean,
ups and downs.
yeah, it's peaked and then it's gone down and then it's up and down, up and down.
Okay. This question is obviously.
Well, what about you? Actually, here's a question for you. When was the peak of third strike for you?
Back in the days where you go to casino on a Friday.
Yeah.
And there was Hattin,
Yeah.
Wax, Naz, you, Zach, Kaz, Simeon.
You miss
Inti,
those days, don't you?
Yeah. Now you go casino and you are there on your own.
Yeah.
It's just you.
It's a
And
bit.
maybe
It's a bit sad. It's a
maybe
bit sad.
a couple of crackheads and like that's about it. That's about it. Next question obviously is kind of irrelevant. How much do you practice? So you obviously
Well, I don't
it,
practice, so I don't
you
play.
You haven't touched the game in a long time.
Yeah.
Did you ever actually practice much when you took it seriously?
No, because I had the arcade. I never played the game on console too much, and you didn't need to, because there was so many players in London. You only had to go to the arcade to get good. So practicing at home, that was something I never really did. The first time I started practicing at home was probably with Ryan.
Yeah.
We used to play like sometimes when he was picking the game up, I'd go around to his house and we practiced like some stuff, but outside of practicing with him, I didn't really practice too much, really.
Okay, so it's just like on the fly.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. Because there were so many players in the arcade, you didn't really need to go home, and I didn't take the game that seriously anyway, so I wasn't motivated to go home
just
and
go casual, just have fun,
yeah, but it was a fun game to play.
Okay. Again, this one's kind of relevant. How well are you doing in SVB? I can't answer that at the moment.
Well, I haven't played so far, but in casuals I'm doing all right.
Yeah, you're doing not too bad. So, what are your predictions for SVB? Who do you think's got this shit? Because I know before the tournament you were like, this tournament's got my name written all over it. So, do you think that's true?
No, because like, I mean, to be fair, there's no good players out there, and that's being honest. There's actually
Have you played some of the French?
There's one Makoto guy, and he's quite good. He's a good. I don't know what his name is,
the
but
French guys.
I think his I forget. I don't know what his name is anyway, but he's quite good. He's actively playing third strike, and he's come here only for third strike.
Yeah.
So he's really serious. He's out there. He's playing like, I don't know, every game he can get in, he's playing. So he's a real threat. And between him, obviously Ryan's gonna be dangerous. Even though he's not playing the game, he's still really good.
Yeah.
And then you've got all the GGPO players. You know, you've got like Rudy, you've got Rakarai. You know, you'd probably know some of those guys more than I would.
Yeah.
But those guys have come down, and their level, it mightn't be that high, but they're actively playing the game. And the thing about third strike, if you don't actively play it, you can forget a lot of it really quickly.
Yeah, I had that problem. Yeah. You don't realize how much.
No, there's actually it's a very deep game. So if you don't play it on a regular basis, you can forget a hell of a lot really quickly. So to be quite honest, there's not that many good players out there. It's a bit of a shame, really.
Yeah.
I guess Raju's one to look out for. Raju, Rakarai, Ryan, and the French guys.
I'd say the French guys. I can say final.
It's a bit of a shame, like Harmonaz and some of the other regular guys on here. Obviously, Zach has gone to Japan.
Like to have interviewed him, but he might come tomorrow.
Maybe.
Okay. Done your prediction. So, what do you think the UK's strongest game is or has been? What?
Oh,
because you know the Koreans have Tekken, Japan has everything. American, obviously, they're like Marvel, and they're good at 3S as well. I
think the UK's been good at a lot of games. I mean,
seriously?
Yeah, seriously.
Marvel.
Marvel won, MVC won.
Yeah, but come on, man, that's not even a game.
Well, the thing is, you weren't around back in the day. You don't know about those games.
True.
You know.
Yeah.
You're a third strike player, so.
I mean everything. Like
but we can play almost every game. I mean, Soul Calibur 2, we were very strong. Obviously not as strong as the French, but we had a lot of good players on Soul Calibur, VF, Tekken, Street Fighter. You know, King of Fighters. I mean, there's not many games the UK doesn't play. Well, used to play anyway. The scene's a bit dry now. It's just SF4.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. This is a bit of a more personal one. Do you ever have you ever like regretted getting into this scene? Like, have you ever regretted picking up games at all, or do you feel that?
I think sometimes. I think every player has a time where they're like, fucking hell, what am I doing playing this rubbish game?
Plus, you're like 47 or something.
Yeah, it's true. Like I'm almost 50.
Almost 50.
Yeah, so I'm kind of touching on. Yeah. I mean,
it's kind of come to an end for you anyway, because you moved back to.
Yeah, the thing is, it's like I've made like a lot of good friends here in London, and I really enjoyed my time here.
Yeah.
And
so you don't regret it then?
No, of course I don't regret it. But I think every player who dedicates a lot of time to games, there are a lot of other activities you could be doing with your time, but it's a hobby. It's something fun
in itself, man. It's fun. But still, you gotta go out and meet some chicks. And
yeah, of course. But I mean, some people just like to stay in their bedroom 24/7, you know.
Innit, Rudy?
Innit, Rudy, Racker, right? Couple of shout-outs, man.
All right, now we're gonna go to the quick fire round. This is
the quick fire round. Sick. Okay.
So you can't take longer than like 3 seconds.
2 seconds. Yeah.
So, all right, let's get into this. Ken or Ryu?
Ryu.
Ryu or Ryu?
Ryu.
Arcade or house sessions?
Arcade.
Evo or SBO?
SBO.
360 or PS3?
360.
Rudy or Rakurai?
Rakurai.
Sweet and sour chicken or sweet and sour
Oh my days,
prawns?
sweet and sour chicken, man.
You
King prawns is shit.
3S or SF4?
3S.
Pedram Sweet or original Pedram?
The original.
Yeah. Street Fighter versus Tekken or Tekken versus Street Fighter?
Oh, you know what? That's not even a question.
It's not a question.
That game needs to be put in the bin. To be quite fair.
Alright, final question. Chunkis, is he boom or brass?
Brass.
Alright, Chunkis, it's been an honor having you on our podcast, and good luck in the tournament.
Alright.
Cool, man. Take it easy.
Thanks.
Alright, before we go, let me quickly ask you about the scene in Ireland. Like, is it saying anything at all, or is it completely dead?
The scene in Ireland is actually very good right now. We've got a lot of players and regular tournaments. We've actually got so many tournaments now that it's hard to make the tournaments because there's so many. Well, there's so many going on. It's hard to decide which ones you want to go to.
Right.
Yeah. Seriously? So it's actually getting to that point where it's like there's events going on every weekend. Well, this is recently. You know, I think we've had about 4 or 5 tournaments in the last month, which is quite good.
That's way more than we have.
Yeah, so the scene in Ireland is quite good. A lot of really good players. There's also a lot of really good third strike players as well. You've got one player in particular. His name is Ramza. He's here. He's very well. He plays on pad and he plays on stick. He's more comfortable on a pad, but he's learning stick. But he's going to use pad for the tournament. And he's won his group, and he's one of the stronger players today.
You think he's going to do well then, yeah?
Yeah, I think he's going to... I think top 8, no problem. Top 8, no problem, yeah.
Serious?
Yeah, he's that good. You've also got 1 or 2 players as well. You've got myself, you've got Kneecaps, Dreddy, New Type. The scene in Ireland for Third Strike, there are a few players, but like everywhere else, it's kind of fragmented. It's scattered all over.
Yeah, so there's nothing too solid.
Yeah, there's nothing too solid. Like, I mean, most of the players, they play on GGPO, and I think, you know, everybody's kind of just waiting for the new Third Strike to come out.
Yeah, the online one, that'll bring it.
Well, I think that's gonna revive the scene.
I don't know, man. It's gonna have a lot of bedroom heroes, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I mean...
Bedroom champions. Yeah, couple. Oh yeah, I heard you've been like sponsored or something.
Yeah,
it's a proper team, yeah?
Yeah, I've been picked up by a professional gaming team called Druids.
Druids?
Yeah, Druids. They're not Irish. Druids, I know Druids is an Irish name, it's a Celtic name. But Druids is a Swedish gaming team.
Serious?
Yeah.
So they came all the way from Sweden to
they've just been scouting for players. Currently in fighting games, we've got myself, we've got Skatan Miller and Yagami. And I think we're interested in signing some more players, so they're always on the lookout for new...
Are they going to pay?
I'll put in a word for you, no problem, you know.
Are they going to pay me couple?
They might do. Depends how many tournaments you win and what you're up to.
They won't pay me shit, man.
But yeah, a lot of professional gaming teams now are starting to look at players, and they're starting to market them, you know, take them on board, and yeah, that's what it's all about. And so Druids picked me up a couple of months ago, and yeah, so I've been... I
think it's a good idea.
Of course. I mean, it's really good because it creates awareness for the fighting game scene.
And a bit of more competitiveness. Like,
yeah.
Because there's teams that are obviously going to be right.
Also, it generates a lot of money as well because a lot of companies are interested in these gaming teams.
Well, that can only be good.
Yeah, of course.
That can only be good, so...
All we need to do is kind of get these teams interested in Third Strike.
Yeah.
Because they picked me up for Street Fighter 4. Obviously, I play other games as well, but It was Street Fighter 4 that they were interested in, because that's obviously the new game. There's a lot of tournaments taking place for it. But it would be nice to kind of, you know, if this new Third Strike comes out, maybe we could have a revival. Who knows?
Yeah. Who knows, man. All right. Cheers, Chunkis.
Nice one.
It's been a pleasure having you on our podcast.
Okay.
You've been particularly dry today.
Yeah, no.
I'm kidding. Good luck in the competition. Good luck in your groups tomorrow. And
yeah, I'm gonna need all the luck I can get.
I know you will need it. You'll need it. Anyways.
Thank you.
Cheers,
Thank you very much.
Have a good day.
This is the end of Disc 1. Please download and listen to Disc 2 and give me plus rep.